Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, the 12th of June, and we've received a fairly significant update from the Department of Education about use of the school site in the Manage to Return to School process. And some of it's been released in the media this morning, and there are some points that I probably need to clarify because some of the big broad statements that have gone out there don't necessarily reflect the individual needs of the school. I do have a brochure that we're going home this afternoon for you, which I'm going to try to share with you on the screen, and we'll see if that makes a bit of sense for you. So the booklet that will go home with the kids this afternoon looks like this. It's called "This Guide is for Parents and Carers," and inside, as I'm showing you on the screen here, it sets out the sort of stuff that we can do at school and we can't. One thing that I need to really point out, over here on the right-hand side, there's a bit of a conversation about what can happen at school from Monday, the 15th of June. And the top item talks about school assemblies, because I know in the media this morning, the word was that school assemblies were back up and running. And the answer is, yeah, they kind of are, but they're only for students and they're limited to 15 minutes. So the sort of assemblies that we're talking about are the gathering after lunch and recess before we go back to class. Our normal school assemblies, including the badge assembly, we still can't have visitors for those. And they're a little bit long and would be outside the 15 minutes. So we'll be doing those by Zoom over the next few weeks. We have also had some conversation about how we use the school site. So at the moment, we still can't have non-essential adults on the school site, which includes parents and carers. Anyone that does come into the school site as of Monday will need to sign a declaration which says that they understand hygiene practices and allows us to keep a good record of who is here. So I'll be trying to work out how, if and how that applies to our preschool and support unit parents who are assisting us with transitions. Other than that, really school continues as it was set out. We'll have the same morning and afternoon plans at the moment. The social distancing applies, adults in the school site. So it's really a staff issue at the moment with 1.5 metre distancing for us. Within the booklet that I'll go home as well, it does explain about attendance, and just makes it very clear that kids really should be at school at all times, which we know about, and is a practice that we've been having at the moment. So look out for that booklet. We're going home with the students this afternoon, and we'll be on our school website in the notes home as well. There is also some information on here about what's going to happen after the break. So after the break, the big change for school is that PWSA looks like it will be up and going, and in fact Ms Henning filled in the paperwork this morning to enrol us in as many sports as we can, and so we're awaiting the information on that. In the meantime, we'll start some of that school training just to keep us on the right track, which will be just great. Most of the other changes that happen at school apply to high school settings. So for Lethbridge Park School, it looks like we're coming back into term 3 in much the same way at the moment. There are some things that are currently under consideration by the department, which includes school camps. So we're obviously looking fairly carefully to see what's going to happen with camps in the new term. So other than that, it looks like the next few weeks will be fairly much as normal for us. Now, the other things at school that are going on at the moment is that the canteen continues to operate, and as I've said before, the best way to do that is really via the Flexi Schools app. So if you go to your app store or your Play Store, you're looking for an app that looks like this one here with this great big F. And if you download that particular app, then you can order food for your children before the start of the day. It needs to be done by 9 o'clock because there's a cut-off. Now, often at the front gate, I have a good number of bags that I'm handing out for parents to help make life a bit simpler. But it can become quite difficult with a whole line of parents down the street filling in bags. So using the app's the number one best option. Failing that, an envelope at home with the student's name and the lunch order written on it with the money inside is fine, and then the kids can drop that off at the gate as they come along. The other thing I wanted to have a bit of a talk about was our upcoming badge assembly. So a couple of parents have been talking to me about what happens with attendance, because some years ago, attendance was part of the criteria for progressing on the PBL journey, but it really hasn't been for about 4 years. because we recognise that we're trying to encourage positive behaviours in our kids here at school, and really whether they're at school or not comes down to parental behaviour much more than student behaviour. So we'll be assessing student performance against the bronze and silver badge criteria, and being very rigid in that. So what have we seen students do, whether they've been here for 50 days or they've been here for 10 days, because particularly during those periods of flexible learning, that was well and truly beyond our control, beyond the parents' control, and beyond the students' control. We are still expecting that that assembly will happen near the end of the term, and we're trying to work out a way that we can share that with you. We will be doing it by Zoom for us as a school, but we're not able to share student video publicly across the internet. So we might have to try to take some photos along the way, but it won't be quite the same way as we're seeing internally. But we're going to have a system that works for parents quite well. Now, for us, I wanted to share a video with you because this morning a new renovation started here at school in our support unit. So if you keep watching, you can see the support unit renovation here at school.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, the 12th of June. This little truck that has just arrived has got fences on it to put a compound out in our front yard here around the downstairs classrooms in B block. What we're going to be doing is the support unit from upstairs is going to get moved down into these downstairs classrooms, and there will be a yard made out here which will have a rubberized surface on it so that the students can come outside. Through these windows here, they're going to be French doors. They're going to come out and around. If I walk down the corridor, you can see that a wall is going to be built across here, which will be made of glass and aluminium somehow. We'll have 1, 2, 3, and 4 classrooms. Down the end at the moment, we have an old office space which hasn't been used in quite a number of years, and this will be a toilet. And as we look back, we'll end up with a lino floor, gyprock walls, and a ceiling. And we're hoping for a 10-week build, but one way or the other, when this is done, the students from our support classes will be able to come and join us downstairs.
So hopefully you share the excitement of the support unit move. We're fairly pleased. We think this will be a great thing for the students and will allow us to have those kids on the ground level. And it will also free up all of the upstairs rooms in B, C and D block for stage 2 and 3. It gives us a bit of room for growth in the school and just that little bit of extra flexibility. So we think it's a pretty good thing overall. Obviously there's going to be some changes with the paths and how we get from area 5 out past the front gate, but we will work that out once the builders have gone. The other thing to remember from our point of view here at school is we are trying to still limit parents on the site. So if inquiries can come across the phone or via email, that's by far the best way to do it. And we are experiencing some difficulty with managing the number of adult movements at the moment. So if you can help us out, that would be fantastic. The only other thing from me is to make sure you have a great weekend, and we'll see you again at the start of week 8.